All right, hello, testing. Just do your mic, Bec.
Test, 1, 2.
Now, we're just off to do the Bad Shepherd in Cheltenham. Well, let's not lie, we've just done it. But anyway. Oh, my God. And there's the Bee Gees. Oh,
great
my God.
start.
That was a great start.
Let's break the fourth wall. Yes, we've done the gig.
Yeah.
But let's keep going with the performative
fake intro.
preamble. Oh, boy. I can't wait for this gig, Dave.
It's going to be awesome,
It's going to
Bec.
be the best gig of our goddamn lives.
The Bad Shepherd in Cheltenham. Yeah, play the song, Courtney. All right, we're back.
Wow.
Anyway, Bec Charlwood, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Is with me. Look, she's originally from... Well, you're from Perth, are you?
Yes, that's where I started comedy. And then now I live in Sydney, but I'm in Melbourne at the moment writing on a show you might have heard of, I believe, called Spicks and Specs.
Yes. I saw you there the other day when I went on.
Lurking in the writer's corner as
you
you were shining in the spotlight.
Yeah, you were there. You worked on it 2 years ago too, didn't you?
Yes, on the 2022 season.
Oh, yeah.
Which you did some beautiful cameos on.
I did, yeah, because, well, it's sort of... Now they've gone back to the original format, which is half an hour, and there's none of those silly stunts that I used to do because they don't have to pad it out. So I think it's, and also they've gone back to the original desk, which is really good.
Oh, the new desk is fantastic.
It's better, isn't it?
Look out for it on the new season. Everyone's sitting. You can sit next to people.
Yeah,
you
so
can hear what people are saying.
Yeah, because what happened during COVID, they made it 1.5 meters, and
yeah,
just wasn't as good. And you've been on it a few times now, though, haven't you?
I'm on this season too. This is my second time.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. I tell you what, second time, the first time, they really make you feel welcome. They talk to you a lot. This time I had to fight.
Oh, to get in?
I was like, I got a goddamn story. Just lobbing it into the centre.
What musos were you with the first time? Do you remember? Who were you sitting next to?
With Novak from Polish Club, who I'm
Polish Club.
Big fan of. He's one of the most exquisite voices. And another exquisite voice, Casey Donovan.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then Reese Nicholson was the other comedian.
Very funny, yeah.
So it was stellar stuff.
And then this time you were with...
So with Oliver Leimbach from Lime Cordiale.
I like Lime Cordiale.
Oh, my God, they're awesome. I did a sketch with them to help them release doing a double tour with Ballpark Music.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I know these bands.
Look at you
know
go.
them. And that's not just through my kids. I know Lime Cordiale are really good. They've got some good pop songs.
They're really cool, and they're really nice dudes, and they're also very environmentally friendly. So I felt like a real trash bag around them. Yeah, I learned 3 different ways to be more environmentally ethical by just like in passing chatting to them.
Yeah, right. And who else? What other musician was on?
It was Elise McCann, who's a Broadway gal. She was in Groundhog Day and Mamma Mia. Oh
yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I do that, there's often they have opera singers on or.
Yeah, they always got one fancy one in there.
Yeah, that's true. And that's when they have questions that you go, what? I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. We had a Sondheim? I don't know how you say it. Section that I didn't even put my hand on the buzzer. No. I was like, I'm not.
I wouldn't either. Don't worry. And I'm old. I don't know. I know who it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything. So then how long? So you started in Perth?
Yes.
Perth.
When I was 20, which is too young to start doing comedy.
Yeah, but it's better than when you're 40, because at least you're getting in young. And you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Long ass time. I think I've only been good at it maybe in the last 3 minutes of my set tonight.
All right. You did all right.
I did okay. Look, they were an older crowd, which is not for me because I do chat about mental health, and I try to not do it in every set, and particularly when it's they weren't old, but they were old.
Oh no, they're middle age. I'm my age.
Old enough that when I said I had bipolar, people got visibly stressed.
Oh yeah, well they're all parents, that's why.
Yeah,
and grandparents, some of them.
Yeah.
And we are in Cheltenham, which is, if you don't know Melbourne, it's Bayside, it's kind of a wealthy area. And though Cheltenham's but there's some very wealthy areas around here, Yeah, there's Brighton and Hampton up here on the left. Brighton's like, it's a rich. It's like the eastern suburbs of Sydney. It's rich. It's bright. Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Brighton. It's like in Perth. You know those suburbs? I did a yacht club once there, and it reminded me of Brighton. You know those yacht clubs near all those posh schools in Perth?
Oh, yeah, like Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
used
that's
to
a-
sail at the Netherlands yacht club
there
when
you
I
go.
was a kid.
Gee, it's beautiful over there. So how long did you do comedy in Perth for?
I did it for 2 years, and then I did everything you absolutely could do in Perth comedy, and so I had to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so I moved over to Sydney because I like the sun, and I had family there.
Good idea.
And Melbourne's just a little bit too cold for me, unfortunately.
Look, Perth is beautiful, but yeah, I think if you want to get ahead in comedy, you've got to move at some point. I mean, Peter O'Sorn lives there because his family, but he's already established.
Yeah,
so.
and his daughter does stand up too.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, Frankie.
She's really good, apparently.
She's so funny.
Oh, well, Pete's really funny. I've never seen Frankie. I remember when Frankie was a little kid.
Yeah, everyone is like, I heard her on the radio and stuff. Like, she was already a celebrity before she stepped up to the mic.
Well, Pete is hilarious.
He's so
and his
funny.
wife's pretty funny too, actually. So I reckon it's a good combination.
Great, geez.
I would encourage my children to go into comedy, but anyway.
You wouldn't, or you
no,
would?
I would. Yeah, why not?
I don't
Why
think I
not?
would.
You don't reckon you would?
I know.
Well, you know what?
I'd be like, that's mum's thing. Get out of
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah,
I'd be
right.
one of those jealous, evil mums who are like,
Oh, yeah.
my spotlight. Grr, you took it from me.
No, you just sit up the back of the gig groaning. Oh, this is so boring.
Yeah, you're nothing like my fans.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say to them.
But as I always say, yeah, it's hard following your mum and dad's footsteps. Like, John Lennon and Julian Lennon. John Lennon's son was a muse. That would be hard.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I never became a fitter and turner, because that's what my dad did. I didn't want people to judge me.
Yeah,
Like
getting into the
Kevin.
fitter and turning
Yeah.
business, and they're like, he doesn't fit and turn like his
Kevin.
father.
Like Kevin. He's not as good as Kevin. So maybe that. But, sometimes the next generation perfects and sees the mistakes their parents have made and actually kills it. Like, does really well.
I mean, Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah.
A
Exactly.
different kind of music. But,
Exactly.
And let's not talk about his current state, but previously.
What happened? What is he been
he's-
cancelled or something? Or?
No, he's been cancelled. There's been a lot of live performances where he's been very off key and acted quite bizarre.
Okay, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thank God
yeah.
it's not a cancelling. There's so many these days. I'm sick of
Oh
them.
man,
I'm over
I'm
them.
waiting to get cancelled. I'm hoping it happens.
Well, it takes off a lot of people's careers, particularly if you're a white man. You get cancelled all of a
Oh,
sudden.
yeah, you can't say anything. Then you're doing a stadium next
Yeah,
minute.
there's a bunch of other dudes who are like, yeah,
Yeah, you can't say anything.
who
And
just
then-
really want to say a slur.
yeah.
It's like,
Well, I always say you can say anything you want, but you got to be prepared for the consequences. So get up, say whatever you want. But I've had people boo and groan, and so when you've crossed the line.
Yeah,
I mean,
truly.
it's pretty- I don't know what it's like in Sydney, but in Melbourne, I'll let you know.
yeah.
I mean, Queensland's a bit looser, I got to say.
Yeah, but
So
people,
is Perth.
audiences are small. Perth is loose as hell. I remember when I moved over to Sydney, someone had to tell me to stop saying a certain word because they
Oh,
were
really?
like, "We don't say that anymore," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
What word? Oh, you can't tell
I'm
what
not
to
gonna
say.
say what
Fair
word
enough.
it is. No, it's bad enough that I'm like, I won't.
You thought it was like, but when I started comedy a long time ago, people would do Indian accents. People would
Yeah.
say retard. Now you can't really say that on stage.
Yeah, it was spicier than retard.
Oh,
I will
okay,
say.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, but also, where are we going? I don't want to get you. Oh no, I know where to go. I've just been telling Bec before we turn the mics how I know the roads of Melbourne so well. But
He bragged about it.
But I'm really looks like we're driving out to the Badlands. Yeah, but what? People never used to say the C word, but now you see some young guys dropping it like, just like, mate, how you going, cunt? Oh, how you going, cunt? Like, what? What's going on?
Language is
Anyway,
changing.
Language is changing.
It's
Well,
always changing. What's the word that your kids say that you love, and what's one that you're just not about?
They say, is that your op? Is he your main op, dad? I'm like, what is that? That means your main opposition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's your main op, isn't he, Dad? Like, Hughes is your main op, isn't he? I said, no, he's a friend of mine. No, he's your main op. And then they say, oh, that's lit. Epic fail.
Oh, nice. Epic Fail's been and Lit have been around for ages.
They've been around for ages.
Yeah.
I've got to get some more words off them. What is my daughter? My daughter's got her 18th birthday tomorrow. Big party.
Did you say slay?
Yeah, slay.
Yes, period?
They're very quick to cancel people. I'll tell you what, you can't mention Harry Potter in the house. Dad,
Oh, no.
she's cancelled. And I said, well, what did you ever look in? Why was she cancelled? I don't know. You love those books, I always say. You annoy them. You love those movies.
This is the hard thing is celebrities have always been bad people.
Yeah.
And I am firmly of the belief that no celebrity is an exquisite person. And if someone is self-centered enough to pursue the arts, and I put myself in this category as well, I hope everyone knows, it's like they're all going to fuck up. They're going to do things wrong. J.K. Rowling is like a very hateful person, and she's lent into the transphobia.
She lent into it.
Sucks. But I'm about, like, people can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just chill. But when someone leans into the skit, I'm like, oh, that's a bit yuck.
Her books were good.
They were, they've been a little bit successful.
Outstanding. Yeah. But no, it's, oh, what else they say, oh, you're going to get cancelled, Dad. You're going to get... And then I
think everyone thinks that about their dad, though.
Yeah.
I dread the day if my dad ever found out what a podcast was and he started one. I'd be
could
terrified.
You imagine? But, and then, like, they would dobber me to my wife about what I'm doing on Twitter. Dad's been fighting with the anti-vaxxers again.
Oh, no.
So then I had to get off Twitter, because I just,
These kids are holding you back, okay?
I
think you should take some of my parenting advice and yell at them and say, you're stealing my spotlight.
Yeah, come on. I mean, Anyway, I know I've made it to Warrigal Road. This is where we're meant to be. No, they've been good for material. You could be driving me
anywhere and I'll be like, yeah, great.
They're good for material kids. They're quite funny. Hopefully I'll get some routines out of the 18th birthday party tomorrow night.
So, that's tomorrow night. How many people?
I know there's only like 30 because she's, and they don't drink. They're not big drinkers. And
the younger generation don't drink.
Nah, and she just wants to do karaoke. Dad, you've got to start it. I'm like, oh, great. So what song are you going to sing? I'm like, well, what about a bit of Midnight Oil? No one knows that. So I'm going to sing a Taylor Swift song, apparently.
You love Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I like Taylor Swift, yeah.
How did you get on the Taylor Swift train?
Through my daughter. And my wife. But I'm not that. I love some of her songs, but I wouldn't know the... I love Cruel Summer. I actually like that album, Lover. I like that album. That's got a bit of an 80s feel, I reckon. Got a bit of 80s vibe. But no, my wife's right into it too.
She pulls you in. Because in the pandemic, I really got... Because I hated her in 2009 when the whole VMAs Kanye thing went down. And then over the pandemic, I watched Miss Americana on Netflix. And from there, I was like, I'm into it.
Well, she's a self-made person and she writes good songs. It's
Well,
and she's tapped into that. She taps into that female zeitgeist of young women and older women too. I can tell you. So good on her.
And I think a really cool thing about her is like she doesn't pretend to be cool. She's like, I'm a bit of a dork.
Yeah.
And I think that's as a dork. I think it's the coolest thing you could do.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who's writing their own music and performing it's pretty good.
Yeah, particularly at that level.
I mean, I always love music, so, anyway, Tay-Tay. Hopefully she's listening. Hello, Taylor.
Hello, Taylor. Big fans. Did you go to the Eras tour?
No, my wife and daughter did. I do a joke about how it's be wrong for me to go. Because I saw Grant Denyer sitting in the exit row one time. I'm like, what? Because he's very short, everyone. What's he sitting with extra leg room? So, no, I didn't go.
I went, and there was a lot
you went?
Yeah. Big Swiftie. I went with Frankie Rosethorn.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What, so Sydney?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was
good? Did you go the night where there was a storm?
Yes. And we missed out on the opener.
Oh, the opener, didn't play.
Yeah, which is she's fine, but I was there for Taylor,
What's your favourite song, you reckon?
Oh, my God. I think it has to be Antihero.
That's a good song.
I really like that. It's just so...
I'm glad you said one I knew. Fucking hell.
Have you heard All Too Well?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard most of them. My wife's a big folklore fan, so
that's a good one too.
Because that's a slightly alternative album, I reckon. It's a little bit folky kind of. I like Cowboy Like Me. I love that. I think it's a great song.
Yeah, that's a nice
Cowboy
one
Like
too.
Me. Isn't it good going to a concert? And as one of my friends once said, to see someone else jumping through hoops. You know what I mean? Like, because you're a performer, it's just good to sit back and see someone doing something so well. Oh. I don't like seeing bad comedians. It makes me feel a bit, nauseous because we all start off pretty bad.
Yeah, it's one of the most truly traumatizing experiences. Like when you talk to someone and you ask them if they've been to a comedy show, you can tell it was bad because they You lose them. They get 1,000-yard stare in their eyes and say, I went once and I'm like, don't recall it. Forget I said anything. It's such a horrible experience. Because I've been to horrible music shows before.
Yeah.
And they're
not as bad as comedy.
Yeah, something about like just like the isolation of someone's dream not
just
going
the
well.
voice.
You can hear it. It's like there's very little tech things you can blame on a bad stand-up. You could do stand-up without a microphone. And
but the silence is just deafening, as I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Husey goes. He goes. Oh, he's always laughing up the back. He goes, no, I'm only laughing because I'm relating to it. It used to happen to me. But I have to leave the room. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, it's
like when you host raw comedy and there's guys have been around. Like, there's always the archetypes. There's always the divorced guy who gets up with his guitar.
Yes.
He goes, I'm going to sing a song about my wife. Like, oh, no. There's always a really confident sales guy who's been told by his mates that he's awesome, and then you can see the look in his face. He's just face drain.
Yeah, as soon as he looks out and he doesn't see all of his mates.
Yeah,
like,
but also his jokes are no good. And there's always the young guy who looks like a virgin who talks about sex a lot.
Yeah.
And like, mate, I don't think you've ever had sex.
Can I tell you something funny about the recently divorced guy doing a song about his ex-wife? I didn't see this, but this is my partner's favorite worst set he's ever seen. It was a raw set. This guy that got up and he did the 12 Days of Christmas, but it was about his ex-wife. So he's like, on the first day of Christmas, my ex-wife said to me, get out of the house, you loser. And then it's like, so it crushes. Everyone's like, that's funny.
Really?
But
you got to do 11 more.
Yes, and every time you do it, you have to do every single one. So by the time it got to the 3 days, everyone was like,
mate.
Get me out of here.
No good. That's terrible.
Yeah,
and it's always the person who's obsessed by their day job, so they go and go, I'm a nurse. And what happens, and they, I'm a teacher.
And there's too much exposition.
They
all of a sudden realize that everyone in the crowd isn't nurses and doesn't know that's something I still struggle with, is like with references or anything. Like, how much do I need to tell them, or how much can I just let them?
It's sort of changed a bit in a way because, back in the day there were 4 TV channels and no internet, so you could talk about a TV ad. I used to talk about TV ads. They say, what about that ad, that cottage fruit ad, and everyone would know.
There was classics back in the day. You could Lubrabille.
Yeah, Lubrabille. Now, if you talk about a TV ad, I reckon people will be going, oh, I haven't seen. I've been watching Netflix, mate. But you can still. I mean, I do a routine about Taylor Swift. I'm surprised everyone knows about Taylor. Everyone knows about Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
But I reckon there's I also do jokes about Lord of the Rings. But I've worked out, because I've tried them all. They know about The Hobbit. They know about Gandalf, but they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know, say, any other characters like Aragorn. But if you go, because I used to do this joke. My wife goes, I love Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, and I used to go, well, too bad you've ended up with one of the hobbits. And most people go in their head, that's a short, fat thing like an elf. But if you started talking about Gandalf and like that, people just go, huh?
Yeah.
What?
And then also has the cadence of like, okay, I get what he's getting.
Yeah. Even if they don't get it, they get it, I reckon.
They're like, he doesn't look like Aragorn. That's the joke. I may not know what he looks like, but
it's a fine line because you don't know.
Yeah. I started doing a joke about Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, see, that's right up my alley.
But I'm so surprised when I say it. I've added into the joke a little
it's
synopsis
iconic.
of it.
It's iconic.
But every time I say it, people are like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, people. But see, that movie came out when what do you reckon? That's 80s.
It's like late 80s or early 90s.
That was Tim Burton.
Awesome.
But I reckon with your generation, people have rewatched it because of Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Before he threw stuff at
Amber
Heard.
That whole thing. Someone else got bloody cancelled.
Court case, man. God.
Oh, don't get me started.
Don't
get me started.
I didn't want to follow it because, I like Johnny Depp.
Well, no one wanted to, but it was all pushed into our feeds. Anyway.
I know. That's true. You don't want to.
Dodgy.
I do a lot of 80s stuff where I mention 80s songs. And with middle-aged people, they love it. But
your line tonight about Luca, everyone was
Luca.
like, yes, let's go.
I reference Luca, which is Suzanne Vega.
Is a great song.
Great song. My name is Luca.
Do you do that often with your kids? You'll I
do.
Do a joke and just their faces are just blank?
Problem is I've been with my wife so long, as long as I've been in comedy, which is over 30 years, that I'll start a story and she goes, we've heard this one. We've heard it. Don't tell that story. Don't tell the story about your dad coming home with a chicken. Don't tell the story. Okay, I won't tell that story. No. I told one the other day, and they said they'd never heard it, and they were all amazed. We've never heard that one, Dad.
I mean, it's hard when it's your job saying
I know.
stories on stories. Like, you have to try keep it fresh in your head. So if you try and figure how many times you said it.
I just want to hear the stories about being naughty, and my brother Mark was the naughty one, and I remembered one about him that they hadn't heard before. I can't remember what it was, but anyway. So.
Naughty siblings are a gold mine.
Have you got siblings?
Oh, yeah. I've got an older brother and a younger brother. My younger brother was a little nightmare.
So that's the family? Three. You're the middle child?
Yes.
But see, you're like my kids. I've got the reverse. I've got 2 boys and a girl, but the girl's in the middle. And I interviewed this guy on the radio once who wrote a book called Firstborns Rule the World, and he is an expert on siblings, sibling. And he said that's the best way to have 3 kids, to have the girl in the middle or the boy in the middle with 2. You know what I mean? If you've got 2 boys and a girl, if you have the girl in the middle with the 2 boys either side, that means that the girl is actually not a middle child. She's still special because she's the only girl.
Oh.
And the reverse, if you have a boy and 2 girls, if you have the boy in the middle, you've got the oldest child, the boy, and then the youngest child, which is a girl. So you're still special.
Yes, thank you. I wish my parents would
tell your
agree.
mum.
I will. I'll let her know.
But as we know, girls are good because I've got 1 daughter and 2 sons, but the girls talk to their mums. And they talk to them, and they ring them when they're older, because boys are fucking hopeless.
Do your daughter and your wife get on?
Yeah, they do. They get on really well.
We were the opposite. Me and my mum, massive enemies as teenagers.
But what is it like now?
Well, she was an adult woman. And now I'm getting obsessed with her, and she thinks I'm lame.
How old's your mum?
She is 61.
Oh, she's 2 years old.
But if you meet her, tell her I said she's 30.
Yeah, 48. We've got to be realistic.
Yeah.
Are they still in Perth, your parents?
No, she moved to Sydney in the middle of the pandemic.
Wow.
So now...
By herself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she went...
So you would see her a bit then?
Yeah. We'd see each other, not a crazy amount, but...
You're not be Kath and Kim.
No, not yet.
Not
I
yet.
hope so one day. No, she'll try to shake me off. But I call her all the time now.
That's
ask
great.
her about stuff.
Yeah, but you should.
Yeah, and she's always like, "What?" I was like, "I'm just seeing how you are," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Please stay on the phone. I love you."
Yeah, come on, Mum.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Mum?
She's like, "I'm actually really busy." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Is she still working?
Yeah, she works as a real estate agent, but she was
fantastic.
A true crime author and a journalist.
What?
Yeah.
So she write articles and books and stuff, and
yeah.
those Perth. You know what I just watched?
What?
The Claremont Killers on 7
Oh my god!
You would have been. Hang on, you would have been too young.
Yes, but Claire Hooper was a teenager and pretty much like the perfect.
Age group
girl that he was going for.
The blonde. She's
and she's
blonde.
like, I was going out partying and stuff, and my mum was freaking out. I was like, what are you talking about?
That case is just horrific. That guy.
Yeah, and they only solved it a few years ago.
I know. That was like through DNA.
Yeah. We also had the Bernies too, which
I
read
about that too the other day because Stephen Curry played them in a movie. They did a movie based on that.
Oh god, yeah, there's a couple of
and also before that, the Sharknet, which is that great. Have you seen the Sharknet TV show? Your parents would love it because it's their era.
Yes.
And that was about a serial killer too.
And they filmed it on Rat Nest, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, my mum's book, she's written one about the bombing of Broome. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and Diamond Dakota Mystery. Look it up. And but her big one was the murder of a brothel owner, Shirley Finn, who was shot point blank on a golf course on a busy highway in Perth.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it was never looked into. And Mum just stumbled upon it one day in a library and was like, "I'm going to solve this." And they reopened the case
because of your mum's book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can actually hear her talking. She's on Michelle Laurie's podcast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard that
True Crime
podcast.
Australia,
That is a great podcast.
Yeah. She's on that. Chatting about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Was your dad in that kind of area too? Or?
Yeah. You're going to lose your mind. He's a homicide detective.
Oh, wow. Is he still a homicide detective?
No. He's very much retired.
Did he speak like this, Bec? That kind of cop voice where they talk like that?
No, he doesn't have that voice. He's a normal dad voice,
Yeah, normal dad. Yeah.
It's because I just know him as dad, so I didn't even know.
So he was a homicide cop in Perth.
He was. Oh no, in the Northern Territory.
Oh my
he was a
God.
detective on the Lindsay Chamberlain case.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. So whenever I make a mistake, he really can't, rinse me for it.
Did he
so I'm
help-
like, well, I know a couple of mistakes that you made.
Yeah, Lindy. That woman in
Not
jail.
that we should probably embrace those actually in this family.
Now, did he get you out of fines, or did they ring up when you were bad and they?
No.
What's your
Whenever
dad's name? Frank or something like that?
Graham.
We're gonna ring up Graham because you're Graham's daughter, and Graham, your daughter's down here, mate. Yeah.
No, he had very black and white, like.
Said, I won't help you.
Yeah. He's like, you broke the law, so you have to.
So he would
pay
never
the
help
fine.
your brothers or.
Nah.
Graham, come
No.
on, Graham.
Come on, Graham.
Come on, Graham. That was my dad's most embarrassing moment when we were in high school. We made these bombs and we lit them off in the park, and the arresting officer was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we made these bombs, and
Oh my God.
I know. I've done stand about this, but the arresting officer was one of Dad's former scouts. My dad was a scout leader, and Darren Dewey's name was. I still remember him, and he was only like 5 years older than me, but he joined the police force, and he would have been in his 20s, and we were like 17. And he came to the paddock near our house and looked at the bombs and looked at our house and just pointed.
Oh,
Set a record.
no.
And Dad came out. Dad's like, "Oh, g'day, Darren. How are you, mate? Oh, I love it." I remember Darren goes, "This is not a social visit, Kevin." Dad was like, "What's going on?" Your dad would be embarrassed if Graham would be embarrassed if you got into trouble.
Yeah. He'd be like, the rule. He's very much like a rule follower.
But I mean, having a dad as a cop would be, as a kid, it'd be in a way because they do have a job like a soldier where they could get killed. You know what I mean? So it would have been. Did it worry you as a child? Or?
Oh, well, no, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really know what he did. Or, like, I didn't know. You don't
And
know.
he's probably
It's
not in
dangerous to be a
uniform.
cop when you're a kid. It's like you see them breathalyze your parents.
He wasn't uniformed, was he? Or
Well, by the time I was born, he was working. Actually, no, we'd moved to Perth, and he was working for the ACC at the time.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. That's sort of white collar stuff. Isn't
Yeah. He'd
Um,
do like press conferences on the TV.
Oh
Mum would make us
God.
watch it, but with the sound off.
There's Dad.
He's like,
Don't know what
look
he's
at
doing.
Dad. Don't listen.
What's Dad
Do
doing?
not turn the volume up.
What's he talking
He looks
about?
really shaken up, Mum. He looks really upset.
That's so
I
funny.
thought I heard him crying
Well, that's
when he came home.
They're two unusual jobs, aren't they? No wonder you became a comedian.
Yeah, I had
What do
to.
your brothers do?
Older brother is a civil engineer.
Oh, that's normal. I was going to say boring, but that's normal.
Yeah.
You might say boring. It's
Younger brother now works in the mines because in Perth you legally have to have one family member that works in the mines.
earn really good money.
Yeah. He's 27. He just bought a house.
Yeah, of course.
He keeps asking me what my 5-year plan is. I was like,
shut up.
you had a 2-year plan and now you have a house. Like, don't.
And also, working in the mine would be hard.
Yeah, he blows like the big holes in the ground
Yeah.
with explosives and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Which he's like, you could do it, and I'm like, I absolutely.
Well, you don't.
No.
Well, why did you get into comedy?
I got into comedy because I had nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Because of the bipolar, I just was and I was unmedicated, so I was just flicking between things rapidly. So like from the time I was 16 to 20, it's like I worked as a Zumba instructor,
Love it.
a personal trainer, a mascot at like
Mascot for who?
the V8 races mostly for a now defunct company called Crazy John's Mobile Phones.
Yeah, I remember Crazy John.
Yes, yeah, I was a big mobile phone.
So you weren't like a
Crazy
grid
John.
girl. You were like a mobile phone.
No, I was the mobile phone.
Yeah,
And-
they're hot, those costumes.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Legally, they can't leave you in there for longer
They're
than like
hot.
40 minutes. You have to anyway. And then I did a bunch. I was a bartender.
Yeah.
I worked at a cafe. I enrolled in 3 different uni degrees and dropped out of all of them.
Yeah, right.
And so I was just kind of like going with the wind, and I met a guy who said it was his dream to be a stand-up comedian.
Wow.
And so I was a bit manic, and I was like, we need to go out tonight, make your dreams come true. So dramatic. And he's like, oh, okay. So we went to an open mic, and I was like, you need to get this guy on. He's going to be the next big thing. And the poor book is just like, leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me
What
alone,
is
lady.
this
God.
chick's deal? And then she's like, you can't get up tonight, but next week come back. And then went back, and I just was like, oh, you know what? I'll give this a go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, why not? I mean, I was manic. I was so confident. I
Yeah.
was like, we watched the show. I was like, this looks easy.
Yeah, right. And so bipolar, so
Mm.
you're manic and then you're depressed? Is that how
yeah.
it works? Kind of
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I don't know, but I met bipolar Yeah, everyone knows someone bipolar. These
Yeah,
days.
yeah. So it's like you'll have like periods where you're just like up and you don't sleep and you talk really quickly and you just make very reckless decisions and you kind of feel like a little bit like you've taken the limitless pill, right? You don't need to stop.
I know that.
And then obviously when you don't sleep for days on end and a lot of the time you're drinking and doing a bunch of drugs and stuff along with it.
Sure.
Surprise, surprise, your body runs out of serotonin and then you just conk out for, however long.
I was going to mention you're doing a show. Someone emailed me, and this is just a coincidence, but they wanted me to interview someone from
crazy.
You're Pulling My Leg?
Are You Pulling My Leg?
Which is like you're doing a series of shows with people with
disabilities and mental illnesses.
Yeah. And so you're on the lineup. You're doing the 20th of July in Parramatta.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We gave it a plug. And so Madeline West is putting that together.
Madeline Stewart is her name.
Oh, Madeline Stewart.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought Madeline West from Neighbours. Why do I think that?
No, you said it off mic a couple of times. I was like,
did it?
oh.
No, okay. No, that's good. You corrected me. Yeah, and it's a good lineup, actually.
It's a great lineup.
Yeah.
And it's also like a rotating. It's very cool to see how many comedians there are with like disabilities out there going around. We're also going we're doing a gig in Karratha. I think it's another one in, yeah, I know. It's 3 days to get there.
Catch up with your brother.
We're doing one in Darwin as well. Tamworth.
Great.
Bondi.
It's a whole tour.
Yeah, it's a whole tour. And I'm only on some of the dates. I'm not on all of them.
And it'll be in a theatre too.
Yeah, and it goes for months and going all around. So look, wherever you are, look up Are You Pulling My Leg? There's probably a show coming to you.
Because it's sort of raising money too, isn't it? As well. I think it's raising some sort of money. I
should have read my contract.
No, I should have read the press release. Anyway, yeah, have a look. And so, with bipolar, can you control it with drugs or?
Yes, I'm medicated. I've been medicated for 4 years, and it's changed my life.
Yeah,
oh my God! And also, just realizing that you have it is like diagnosis for some people is enough, but for me, I definitely needed the medication because I was, rapid cycling, and I had a major manic episode where I got obsessed with the band Primus.
Primus?
Yeah.
Who did the South Park theme?
Yes.
You know that because you're obsessed by them.
I know these things. And so I had
Primus.
a very...
Well, you know what? They're a good band, so at least you're obsessed by a good one. It wasn't Dire Straits or someone.
Depends who you ask if they're a good band or not.
I think Primus pretty good, aren't they?
They're
pretty cool.
I mean, I saw them as gods and deities, and I had plans to go over and
meet them,
let them know I wanted to get married.
Yeah.
So the coming out of that is a very rude awakening.
Yeah,
they're not that good.
I know what you mean, but they've certainly made their impact in the world. Primus, I reckon.
Yeah,
they're alternative, basically.
Yes.
An alternative band.
Everyone listening, that was a psychosis triggered by drugs. That's not a common thing for people with bipolar.
Yeah, right.
So don't worry, and I'm okay now.
How did you get diagnosed? Like, how does it happen? Like, do you have to go and do tests, or the doctor just goes, I think you got bipolar?
I thought I just had ADHD like everyone else.
I was going to say, did you think you had ADHD?
I went to get one of these cheeky ADHD diagnoses.
Some Dexies.
Yeah, get a little popular at parties, make some cash on the side. Yeah. And then they said, sorry, you have full-blown type 2 bipolar.
Wow.
I was like, that's not fun.
No.
That's not sexy.
But if you can control it. And,
yeah.
And you're working, so.
Yeah, it's going really, really well. And I'd highly recommend anyone out there who, even if you just, if someone's mentioned to you, you might or something, or you feel you've got a little something, it's just knowing is the best.
That's true.
Because a huge thing with bipolar, I didn't know this, is that it's super linked to sleep. So the best thing for me is I have to be really militant about going to bed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I notice it if I have a night where I just don't sleep or I stay out really late. All of a sudden, the next night later and later and later, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I haven't slept in a couple of days.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel a bit crazy, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah. Well, do you have any of the mentals?
No, not that I know of. No. I'm saying that like I want one, but no, I don't. No.
I mean, even if you've got one,
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't ask for them.
I'm a twin, so, and we were a bit, remedial when we were younger because twins have slowed learning development. You just talk to each other. We had our own language when we were little kids.
Oh, wow.
It's quite common in twins, apparently. So that was my only learning issues, really. And
I didn't know that makes it, because I have uncles who are twins, and they were absolute psychos growing up.
Yeah, well, that could be it. No, we're getting close to your destination. So I've got to ask you these questions. I ask everyone these questions.
Where's my house?
No, where's your house? But also, what went well tonight with the gig, you reckon, with your set? It went well. What resonated with
Oh,
you?
God. It was so
You're getting some good laughs.
I was getting some good laughs. I think honestly, the newer stuff that I've been working on got
that's
the
good.
big laughs. So that gives me confidence to keep going with the new stuff about turning 30, which is really cool.
Yeah. And what didn't go well?
I mean, the mental health stuff, I could tell they were
confronting.
Yeah, and people get concerned, and it's
Yeah. You don't want sympathy really.
no, and usually if it gets really bad, I have a whole bit to like pull me out of it, of like letting people know I went to a private school. Both my parents own waterfront properties, so please don't weep for me. Like,
and your dad was a copper, and your mum was a bloody a crime writer.
Yeah.
Should drop that in.
Yeah. But I was happy with that. The mental health stuff didn't go great.
That's all right. When any organisational hazards get in the way, do you think the room was organised well, or?
It was a bit weird. I didn't like that there was windows behind.
Oh yeah, there were people sitting there.
Yeah, at one point in the break,
there were people playing Uno.
Yeah. At one point, we were standing out the back, and you were asking questions about tables, and you were pointing at people.
They were looking at me,
and I was like, they can see through the window.
But they were people that didn't want to go to the comedy show. There was only about 5 of them. And we're like, oh, God, I so wanted to pick on them, but they left before I got on. But there was one couple playing Uno behind me.
Oh, wow.
Like, I love Uno, but anyway.
But, yeah. I mean, good on them for getting out of the house. It's hard.
It's hard to get out of the house.
When you're a couple.
But, you can play Uno at home, guys. So how can we do better next time, you reckon?
How did you think? What did you like?
Oh, I liked it all. It was good. I mean...
You did great. You crushed.
Yeah. But they're middle-aged people. They're my crowd. I'll tell you what, I love it.
Oh, but dance on them. I love the little bit that you did where you would ask someone the name and then try and guess it.
I do that. Oh, that's my trick I do.
That was
I just list names off. But then,
funny.
You know what I always say? Oh, this is what I do with the whole show, guys. Strap yourself in. I'm going to turn the lights on. We'll get up the back of the room in a minute. I do with men because I can just remember all of men's name of my generation.
It's very trickster energy, and I really like it.
It's like a magician, basically, and we love magic.
It's super clowny if you just
I love that stuff.
Mess with you. It was really fun.
Like Matt O'Neill was emceeing, he was doing this thing like, I'm going to sniff all your chairs. You, yes, no, yeah, that was funny.
And that was good too. That was nice on the line stuff.
Funny.
I like it.
Well, Bec, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Oh my God, my absolute pleasure, Dave.
You're on this road.
I think Okay,
we'll
doesn't
drive
look
up and
familiar
down.
at all.
Okay, I'll drive up.
He's driven me to... guys, he's pulling over the car. Oh my God. It's Belangolo Forest. Oh my God. Call the police.
No, your dad's a cop. I would never do it to someone whose dad's a copper.
He's pulling out a knife as he's saying it, guys. He doesn't mean it.
I'm not really a comedian. This is all a trick. I'm a serial killer. Oh God, I've done a gig there. I've done a gig in there. This is what I do to annoy my kids. I've done a gig in there.
Again,
kids.
There's nothing. It's just trees and wood.
Oh, yeah.
He's pulling out the duct tape.
Yeah. Okay. Bec will never be seen again. Bec Charlwood?
Charlwood.
Charlwood,
That's
ladies
me.
and gentlemen.